What's the golden rule for Chevening essay writing, in your opinion, in terms of do these one, two, three things with your story?
I would encourage everyone to just learn what storytelling is. I did that mostly in my essays. I was just telling stories and stories in all my essays, but it's very, very important because
Storytelling is very important. You already helped us with like the star approach. And I know tailoring is also very important. Tailoring means, we are made of stories,
yes,
right?
exactly.
An individual can have 100 stories that make up their life.
Mhm.
Some will be
Yes.
touching, some would not be very touching, some are ordinary stories, you know.
Mhm.
What's the golden rule for Chevening essay writing, in your opinion, in terms of do these one, two, three things with your story?
I think storytelling in writing is actually the winning, should I say, the winning recipe or the winning theme that actually engages the reader. It just keeps the reader, motivated to go on and on, mostly in writing. So I would encourage everyone to just learn what storytelling is. I did that mostly in my essays. I was just telling stories and stories in all my essays, but it's very, very important because it then touches to the human part. It just tells the reader that you are reading a story of someone who is human. Like, it just brings out that authenticity out, so, and it's actually easier to tell a story than to just be writing, I was a manager but X company, we raised this and this is boring. But I would advise you to approach it in a storytelling way. Like I said, I would read out my networking essay to show you one short story, right? Is that okay?
Yeah, shoot, go for it.
Okay, so on my networking essay, I tell this story. It's a very nice story that I can't even believe how I connected the dots. But um, as I was writing my essays, I was actually, even the stories that you're telling should connect. It's like one line from the leadership to the network up to the very end. I'm not moving from one end to the other. I'm just moving with one straight or one string, right? Pulling it from the top to down. So now I connect this story to my networking essay, and I wrote that networking can be a game changer in both personal and professional development. Over the years, I have utilized formal and informal networks to develop networking skills through my networks. I created impact and forged mutual partnerships. So, through networks, I developed a strong partnership with the founder of a waste management startup from the Congo DRC. We met at Newark International Airport when we both won the Mandela Washington in 2022. We connected over our shared interest in waste management, and I shared my experience working with Plastic for Change and collaborating with Congolese waste speakers over the years. Even after the program ended, we connected through video calls and text messages. After completing the leadership program, he visited my plastic waste collection center in Kasumbalesa, and we signed a partnership agreement to work together. I aimed to address the language barrier and the marginalization of women waste speakers who had to walk long distances to sell recyclables to us.
Great.
So that's the storytelling there, and it took two paragraphs. I did not need to tell three, four more stories, no, but I just told my story the way it was, just like that, as simple as that.
Great. So I picked the one string. You mentioned one string. one of the things you come across with young people today is when you ask them to introduce themselves, or you ask somebody, what do, you hear something like, I'm into many things, right? I'm multi-talented. That could be a problem, right? Because if you are into many things that are not connected, it makes it difficult to tell a straightforward story without confusing the person that is reading. So, Gladys has just shared her experience now. You are still sharing sustainability growth stories. You have not left the subject matter. It's the same subject matter. You're using the networking essay to empower the first essay that you have already written. So everything is connected to everything else. This is very, very good. Still on storytelling, you have already mentioned a few styles. I hear outline. Do not write without an outline, which is like a direction of writing. I hear framework. Do not write without a framework. What are you trying to do? A mentor taught me the then, now, how approach. Then, now, how. What was the problem then? What's the situation now? How have you changed? In between those two processes. You have already touched on the STAR approach, so we won't go back to it. People now add L, which is apart from the situation, task, action, results, what lessons did you learn from even the scenario? So it's been upgraded to like the STAR L approach, which is really good. You've already mentioned a number of methodologies to follow, right? Which also is the punchline methodology. So I think you have already done very well in answering questions 4A and 4B. So I'll let you take a breather. Our third question on the storytelling aspect is, we hear a lot of show, don't tell. How do you show your story, right? When they say give us clear examples, does it mean you have to mention names, name of the place, date and time? How can you show your story instead of telling it?
Yes, so when it comes to Chevening, that's why I said that, clarity is very important. You have to understand what you are writing. And when they say show, don't tell, exactly that. You need to say the places. So, for example, if you are able to work with schools in Maiduguri, Nigeria, you need to mention that in 2019, I was, working with schools in Maiduguri, right? In Nigeria. So Nigeria should be there, Maiduguri should be there. When? In 2019. How many people did I work? I worked with 20, I worked with 20 school-going girls in 2019 when I was, maybe you were a volunteer in Maiduguri or in Edo State, I do not know, or in Kenya, but you need to be specific. That's why this is your story. There's a lot of copy and paste everywhere going on. There's also AI going on. So how do you stand out as an applicant? Bring it to life. Every, winning essay has got, specific, and it's, it is clear to the T. When I say clear to the T, it is precise. You need to bring and hit with precision. You need to, talk about the years exactly. You need to put the years. If it's the month, maybe if you want, you can say in March 2018, I was able to do ABCD with my workers in Maiduguri. How many people? We were 20. What did we do? We went to the school or this secondary school and we did this and this. Hit with precision. Name, be precise, show everything that you need to show. Don't leave out anything to chance. That is my advice.
So it's like when the reader goes through your essay or stories, they should be able to literally see it, like they're watching it in a film. Like they should be able to see it. And this level of details, for example, in your networking essay, I recall you actually mentioned the names of the individuals that you had the MOU with.
Yes.
You mentioned the name of the airport where you met.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
when you started to read that, I was like, okay, I saw the airport, I saw the two of you
Mhm.
meeting, and then I
Yes.
saw the trip and the visit and the MOU. I can fill in the pictures myself because you were kind of showing the story and not
Yeah.
just telling it. So this is really good for applicants to remember.